Welcome back to the Radical Club Cup here at Castle Combe. Colin Miller it is that is in that red number 16 car that continues to lead the race. A very, very full and busy circuit here at Castle Combe, and a great variety of Radical sports cars as well. The likes of the SR3s running in the Super Sports class, the PR6s that we see out there. We also have the bi-Duro class cars, the SR4 195 brake horsepower Kawasaki engined cars, and also the Club Sport cars powered by their 185 brake horsepower 1100cc Kawasaki engines. Well, here comes our race leader Colin Miller, claimed victory already this weekend. He's looking to try and make it two on the bounce. Jonathan Wright chasing him very hard indeed. There goes number 23 Simon Tilling, still threading his way up and through the order. Number 13 going through leads the Club Sport class for those 1100cc Kawasaki engine cars. That's Simon Garmston. And as Colin Miller now exits the S's and makes his way through Old Paddock Bend, Jonathan Wright in second place, being caught by Darren Luke for third position. Our race leader Colin Miller, he'll want to press on, but equally as much he's got to tread carefully as he approaches these back markers. Through and down a lap goes another one of the Club Sport class cars. That's in the hands of Mark Boot. And as our race leader once more finds himself well and truly mixed up in the back marker lappery, the cars further down through the field having their own individual battles. And Jonathan Wright now trying to make his way through and past some of the slower traffic. This might just allow him to pull yet further away from Darren Luke in that third position. Looks though the number 7 car in the hands of Darren Luke has lost a little bit of ground relative to the race leaders. As they once more head up Avon Rise and in towards the braking area for the right-hander at Quarry. Up the inside goes Darren Luke, almost making contact with Gary Ramsdale. Car number 30, Gary Ramsdale, leading the bi-Duro class section of this race currently. The race leaders, however, head in towards the S's, with Colin Miller, Jonathan Wright and Darren Luke in the top three. There's car number 24 in fourth position. That's Paul Steele, who's made of pretty hard stuff as he is trying to hang on as close as possible to those ahead of him. Great battles going on further down through the field as well. As we ride on board very briefly with Darren Luke as he threads his way round the twist and turn. You can see the bumps on this Castle Combe circuit really do unsettle a car. Darren Luke in third place at the moment. On the brakes and in towards the final corner at Camp Corner, and then back over the start finish straight he goes on his way down towards Folly Corner, which is where the race leaders are approaching. Colin Miller very much under pressure now from Jonathan Wright as they head up Avon Rise. Jonathan Wright trying to snatch the lead of the race if at all possible. Having lost the victory in the first of the two races, he'll be keen to try and gain for him what would be his 7th victory of the season if he can at all on this 8th race of the season. Up the inside he goes, or tries to go. There's just, I think, the briefest of contact between the two of them almost there as they now head out of the S's. It looks like there's damage been done to the rear of Jonathan Wright's car. You can see the smoke billowing from the left-hand rear wheel, and Jonathan Wright, I'm sure, will try and press on. He's looking in his mirrors though. I think he's slightly concerned about the damage that may have been done to the rear of the car, and hence he's easing off a little bit. Looks as though there's certainly a puncture as well to that car. It's shredding debris as well as he surely heads round through Bobby's and will be destined for the pits this time. Of course, that has allowed Darren Luke to slide through into second position. Paul Steele goes through now in third place. He is, however, being caught by this orange car in the hands of Simon Tilling. Into the pits comes Jonathan Wright. The car trabbing slightly to one side. You can see damage by the look of things to both of the wheels, front and rear, on that car. Here comes Colin Miller trying to feed his way past David Franklin. You can see exactly how close Darren Luke now is to the race leader. As into the pits comes Jonathan Wright, the 6-time race winner, who prior to this weekend here at Castle Combe had been unbeaten. It's not been the best of hunting grounds for him. Well, here come John Morris and Simon Garmston side by side up towards Camp Corner. There's lock brakes from John Morris and thump very heavily into the barriers. Indeed he goes. The driver, I'm sure, will extract himself from the car with no need of any further assistance from our Castle Combe marshals, and thankfully for John Morris, what was a fairly hefty hit into the tyres, he's out of the car, or very shortly will be, and is absolutely okay. Simon Garmston continuing around on his own. There you can see the damage to the rear of Jonathan Wright's car following what was just the briefest of touches between himself and Colin Miller. And the reigning Radical Club champion is going to gain very few points from his weekend at Castle Combe. Here's the replay. Up towards the S's they go. Colin Miller and Jonathan Wright get very close on the way in. You can see just a slight amount of contact ahead of the back markers. That's David Franklin and Rachel Davis, the back markers that were ahead of them. And already by the time they come round through Old Paddock, it certainly looks as though Jonathan Wright was destined for retirement. Here's the problem for John Morris. He locks the brakes on the way into Camp Corner, leaps across the concrete and heads straight into the barriers. Well, one driver who is making excellent progress up through the field is the orange car in the hands of Simon Tilling. Well, he was making excellent progress. Straight across the grass at the S's he goes. He'll try and gather his thoughts and try and head towards the rear end of Paul Steele, who currently occupies third place. Here's the battle for the lead now. Colin Miller very much under pressure from Darren Luke as they come out of Tower. Down towards Bobby's they go. Up the inside goes Darren Luke. He's a bit too quick on the run into Bobby's corner, and therefore, having gained the place, he's lost it once more. They'll head down the Dean Straight and in towards Camp Corner. They're about to start their final lap this time through. Colin Miller, having briefly lost the lead of the race, has regained it again with less than 2 miles to go. Now there goes the last lap board. Colin Miller potentially on a double this weekend in the Radical Club Cup. Darren Luke will try and do everything he can to try and prevent that happening, with Paul Steele still there in third place at the moment, and Simon Tilling trying to pick his way up the order. He's up to fourth place into the pits, and it looks as though a collapsed rear wing there for Rachel Davis in the Bi-Joro class Radical SR4. But it is the man from Ballymena up towards Tower Corner, still being chased all of the time by Darren Luke. Darren Luke, who has been the bridesmaid on plenty of occasions so far this season, looks as though yet again he's going to be destined for just second place in this one. They head out of Westway, down the Dean Straight and up towards Camp Corner for the final time of asking. Here comes Colin Miller. It's going to be 2 out of 2 for him here this weekend at Castle Combe in the Radical Clubman's Cup, with Darren Luke coming through in second position. Great weekend that for the Transpower team and Colin Miller. Whatever tweaks they did to that car, it has clearly worked. So Colin Miller secures the honours. Darren Luke is there in second place. Simon Tilling climbs to third because Paul Steele was given a penalty for a jump start.
Jonathan was pushing me very hard there, and well, he tried to late brake and move her up there, and the two of us just touched, and it must have damaged the wheel or something. I've seen he went out now, but my own steering was a wee bit, wasn't the way it was and at the beginning of the race, so I managed to keep it on the track and gone around and finished it, but these guys behind were pushing hard.
Darren, it'd be fair to say again it was very, very close. You got close in the final stages there to Colin Miller, but you just dropped back with a lap or so to go.
Yeah, I had a little stab and actually managed to get in front around the back. You know, my engine's a bit smaller, like 250cc smaller, so I was struggling for pace, but you know, I was quicker through the corners, as is often the case, but I managed to nip past with a very daring do at the back. Estes there, and very, very squirrely, and of course, yeah, it dragged me on the way out again, so no, I'm well chuffed with that, to be fair, so that was a good result.
Second place again, though. When's the first win this season coming?
Well, nobody's trying harder than me.
So Jonathan Wright it is on 141 points that still leads the championship. Of course, that margin somewhat reduced now to 42 points, with Colin Miller sitting there in second.